Hello. Hi, welcome to Cora's Kitchen. I'm glad that you all could make it. Miza and I today will be preparing a tiered cake for one of our loved ones, Mark Anthony. It's his birthday tomorrow, so we decided that we would try to be adventurous as we can. And it's something that we think that everybody out there can actually make. So it's a great way of trying to impress your loved ones if you want to make a cake for them. We've purchased the Betty Crocker gluten-free cake mixes. So we have 2 of these. And there's simple instructions on the back of the box. So anybody that can follow instructions, you can easily make this cake. So we're gonna make it together. We have the dishwasher going in the background, so if you hear any sounds, that's the dishwasher. What you'll need for this, well, every cake mix requires 2 eggs, a 1/3 cup of butter, or we prefer using the Becel unsalted. They come in these sticks like this, so you can purchase them, or butter, it doesn't matter. And you'll need a couple of eggs. So we're gonna get started with the recipe. We have 2 of these cake mixes that we've purchased. And what we're planning on doing is perhaps another layer with a fudge brownie mix. Our vision for this cake will be to have tiers. So we're gonna use this pan. So if you have a pan like this at home, it would be great because the bottom comes out and you could easily take your layer out, or if you have square pans, you can do the same thing. It doesn't really matter as long as hopefully the cake comes out of the pan.
Yeah.
Right? So a good part of being proactive will be to make sure that the cake does not stick to the pan. So our plan is we're going to use this round form, and we're going to be cooking this in phases. So join us, and you can join along in the phases. What we plan to do for the filling part will be cream cheese, like a cream cheese icing, since Mark Anthony loves cream cheese.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put cream cheese in between our layers, and our whole vision is like this chocolate cake with the fudge layer and then the cream cheese. And then we're going to add a wonderful chocolate glaze. So Miza bought some chocolate. We're gonna melt it down, and we've made sure that all of our products are gluten-free. So we're gonna melt down the chocolate. We're gonna add a glaze over our cake. And then Mark also loves these chocolates, so we're gonna decorate the cake and write happy birthday on it. So if we can do it, you guys can do it. Follow along, and we will get started.
Yep.
Hi there. So if you buy Becel or even butter that comes in sticks like this, the thing that I love about it is that it has the measurements all set out for you along the side. So if we need a 1/3 of a cup for this recipe for each cake mix, then you can easily see it, and then you could take your knife and just cut right there and then add that in your bowl.
Cool.
So you don't need a hand mixer. You can just, use your muscles for this recipe, but it's completely up to you what you decide. Just make sure that you review exactly what you need for each cake mix. So in our case, it's 1/3 cup of butter. We're using Becel, 2 eggs, and 1 cup of water. That's all that we need for this particular cake. So we're gonna start. I'll open up the cake mix and just put it in your bowl. Just there. Okay. I'm just going to grab some water. So preferably use filtered water. You can add your cup in there. I don't beat my eggs ahead of time or anything. You just add your eggs. That's 1. This is an easy way to crack it. Just grab your fork or your knife. Put a little bit of a, get it a little bit, and then open it up. With practice, you'll become better at that. All right, so I'm just gonna take my fork and I'm gonna start to vigorously mix everything, all of the ingredients in here. And again, you can use your and the idea is to incorporate everything together so that it all mixes well. If you see that there's cake mix along the sides, you can always lift up the bowl. You want to eliminate any lumps. It's good exercise too, right? Get that muscle going. If you prefer the hand mixer, like the actual hand mixer that you plug in, you can use that. Usually I will use a metal bowl to do that, but in this case it's so simple. You can just let out that whatever it is that you're letting out, let it out. How's that looking?
Very good.
It's looking good? Okay, so you want this consistency here. You want to make sure that you don't have any lumps. If you notice any lumps, just give it another go. And just have a look. It's looking good. It's chocolatey. Okay, the other thing that you have to remember is, remember we talked about our pan. For this particular cake mix, which is Betty Crocker, tried and true, it's a wonderful cake mix. What you want to do is put a little bit of oil on the bottom of your pan. You don't need to flour this one, but you do need oil. So what I've done is I have a clean paper towel on the side and I put a little bit of oil in a bowl. I'm just putting my paper towel in there and I will be just making sure that the bottom surface is all oiled. And then I'll do the same thing for the sides of our pan. If I have any remaining, just so that we know that the cake won't stick. The beauty of this particular pan, these are relatively inexpensive. Like you can buy a 3-pack of these for probably $5 to $6 at the store, $10 at the most. So this came with a set of 3 with larger rings, but right now we're using the smallest one. You just put the bottom of the pan inside, and then on the side here, the latch goes over, and so it keeps everything in place. And so now we know that our pan is secure. Once our cake is cooked and we pull it out of the oven, we're going to let it set for a little bit. And then after we've let it set maybe for 15 to 20 minutes, we'll release the pan, we'll release the bottom, it'll come out, and you'll easily, once the cake is fully cooled down, you'll be able to take like a larger knife and just go along the bottom to release the cake from the pan. We're gonna try and get, oh, we forgot one ingredient. We can't go on. We have to put our 1/3 of margarine in there, and we almost forgot. So let's open it up. Like I said earlier, it's easy if you buy something like this because you can just cut it at this point. I'm just gonna cut it right where it says 1/3 of a cup. Is I'll put it in my bowl. Should be at room temperature, so it's easy to break down. I'll cut it up within my bowl. It's already nice and soft. So again, it can be basically basil, it can be more butter. I prefer unsalted, but it depends on your preference. It doesn't really matter what you go with. So I'm going to put that in my mixture here. And so I need to make sure that I pour it. We have all of our ingredients in here. They are all blended well. And again, the goal is to eliminate any lumps. And then you're going to carefully pour all of your ingredients into your pan. And the pan has already been greased. It's a nice thick consistency. It's as easy as that, really. Okay, so you may see the odd, cake batter that hasn't fully mixed. Don't panic. It's all gonna be blended in with the cake. So for those of you you don't have to it doesn't have to be perfect. So for example, if you see a speck like that, just blend it in there, you're fine. Okay.
That's really good. He's Mark Anthony.
That's the birthday boy. So I'm just smoothing. So keeping in mind that we have a round pan, it says here 41 to 46 minutes. Let me just put it.
41 first,
Yeah.
and then try to see it as you
we'll
go.
try 41, and also I'll press start as soon as I put the cake in. But what Miza and I have always done every time that we bake is we put the tip of a knife in the cake, and if it comes out gooey, you know it still needs to cook longer. That's the dishwasher, by the way. Okay, so the other thing you have to remember, tap it. This releases any air bubbles. It has them come up to the top. Oven, I have the tray at the middle, in the middle of the oven, and I've put the cake just kind of like in the middle. Okay, so the timer's going off on the stove, as you can hear. So we're just gonna press timer for now, just to end the beeping. So as is, it's been cooking for 41 minutes. So now at this point, we need to check by inserting the tip of a knife. If it comes out gooey, then you know that you have to put it back in. So let's see how it is. So that's what it looks like. And we're just going to, you're gonna insert it right through the middle and just pull it out, okay? So when you pull it out, if you notice that there's a little bit of goo like that, it means there's a part of the cake that has not fully cooked, okay? So I'm just gonna wipe the knife again, and I'm gonna insert it in a different spot. It's almost done, but there's a little bit of cake goo there, which means it's not completely cooked. So what we'll do is we're going to put the cake back in the oven. So we haven't touched the heat or anything, it's still at 350. I'll put the cake back in. Liza, what do you think? 5 minutes, or is that too long? You think 5 minutes is okay?
Maybe that's too long.
Let's try maybe, let's try adding just maybe like 3 minutes. We'll add 3 minutes, okay? And as soon as the timer comes off again, we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna do the simple. This is going to be yet another layer to our cake. So we'll open it up and it just comes out like that. What we need for this is a lot simpler. All we need is 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of water. So I'll just use a regular tablespoon like that. 2 tablespoons of water and 2 eggs. And put it in our bowl. Part. Actually, it's all fun. All right, so I'm just gonna mix those in.
Hello.
Miss Maza. So anybody can make it.
Very easy.
So for anyone that wants to try making this, especially now, you know, we're in our homes a lot more with our family, and Miza's part of our family, so blessed to have you in our household. But you know, just trying different recipes out, trial and error. Some things work, and if other things don't, oh well, you just try something else, right?
Baking is definitely like one of the best things to do, like as a family too. It's a good way of like making memories, and like not only like the process, but after you get to eat.
You get to eat it all together and sit around the table and just you know, share whatever things we want to talk about, but it's like enjoying it, like what Miza said, definitely reaping the rewards of
Exactly.
the effort that we put into making something. Definitely there's a lot of joy that comes with that, and oftentimes, you know, even with my students, I'll tell them like, do things that bring you joy, and a lot of them have shared that they've taken on cooking as something that, you know, they've tried during this time where we're kind of in our homes. I don't like to think of it as being stuck. It's all in our outlook, right? It's what we can find around our home to help us, you know, bring that joy that we're looking for, whether it's knitting or crafting or baking or exercising together. There's so many things that within our home that we can do as a family, and as Miza has said, it's a great bonding experience to just share stories and enjoy the moment. Great, thank you, Miza. I'll just put that in the bowl. Now we bought 2 of these just in case we want to double up. Right now we're not going to. Right now we're just going to see how much this yields for the cake layers, and then we'll work from there. So you want to have it like a nice soft consistency so that you can work with it. And I'm just going to break it apart in my bowl. So I'm just breaking it apart. So what you need to do is you'll need to combine the cream cheese and the butter to start off. Of course, if you have a stand mixer or a hand mixer, you could very easily use that. But for now, I'm just going to just mix it in my regular bowl, like so. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of my butter or margarine. So it can either be Becel, we like using Becel, or you can use butter if you like to have butter, that's more than fine. So we're just gonna scoop up every last bit, and we'll add it to our, did we put the salt in? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so I can use this spoon. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. So this was our teaspoon right here. Just gonna take our vanilla extract, and that's all you need. Okay, so I'll just add that there. And it smells lovely. We're going to combine these two. We'll combine the sugars. So far we have 2 cups of sugar. The recipe calls for 4. we're gonna gauge it and see how it goes. We might want to add more cups. It's going to be up to us. We can see how it goes. So that is our 2 cups of this white icing sugar. And then now we're going to add our cream cheese, which is 1 block of cream cheese, 250 grams, which equals, what was it, 8 ounces?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Mixing it up.
Mark's down here for a break.
Okay.
Our chocolate, and we're gonna slowly melt the chocolate in with. So this is for making our glaze for on top of the. It's gonna cover the very top of the cake, and about a half there. Okay, and vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
How much vanilla?
1.5.
1.5.
Oh, sorry, 1/8. I was looking at the
Oh,
wrong.
1/8 of a
Yeah.
of a teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like wing it. 1/8 is like very little. Okay. And then you said we need honey in here as well.
Honey.
Okay, so our chocolate's melting nicely.
About 1.5 teaspoons of honey.
1.5 teaspoons.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have this honey. 1.5 teaspoons. So let's do 1. Okay, so that's about 1. Nice. So it melted really nicely. That is essentially what will cover the top of the cake.